Meg, you're back. I don't know how many freaking times you've been on the podcast, but I know it's been
Again.
a long time. We were just talking about how um, there's a possibility now. There's a possibility now
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that you could be targeting the world championships at yet another weight class.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna throw a couple questions out there, and we're gonna talk about it. But talking about like how long ago you're on King List. I remember when you're 57, breaking the world record as a 57, as a 63. You won the world championships, and now you did what you did. You got the American record, and you did what you did at Avances as a 69. And people are wondering what is going to happen. Is she looking for an incredible resume and going to worlds in a third weight class? As soon as you podium, I don't even know if people have podium at worlds in three different weight classes. If they have, we're talking a very elite few. And if you win a world record 57, a world title of 63, my God, what it might look like. You would be, that's incredible status. So the temptation is
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I'm thinking this, you're thinking this. So let
Yeah.
me ask you something
Yeah.
right out the gate. Um, let's say you do not get the Sheffield invite. Let's just operate with that first.
Mm-hmm.
No Sheffield invite.
Yeah.
What are you doing in 2026?
Uh, no Sheffield invite in 2026. I would go 69 at nationals, which I understand throws myself in like the lion's den, if you will, uh, with much more competition, but 100%.
And what then we'll talk about possible Sheffield as well. We'll double back. But let's hang here for a second because
Okay.
this is you will be attempting to do something. I mean, my God, listen, if you freaking pull this off and win a world title of 69, I don't know anybody who's broke a world record in a weight class. Like I know you didn't win 57 world record or world
Yeah.
title, but you broke the world record.
Yeah.
That you might be the only one to have two different world titles in two different weight classes, and then in a third you got the world record.
Mm.
That might be it. That might be you. Like the significance of that achievement.
I didn't even think
It's
about that, to be honest. I was like,
I honestly, because I know Kimberly Walford and lady from Brazil were both chasing a third title at
mm-hmm.
69 in 2021, and Chandler Babb took it.
Mm-hmm.
You would be that'd be it. That'd be just you. It
Mm-hmm.
would completely change how we talk about you. We already are like a legend in this era. You're not going to be forgotten, but you might be setting up a standard for multiple eras to come. Like who will have achieved that? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Does that does
I'm a
that
little
now that
crazy,
I've
right?
thrown it
I'm
out
a
there?
little crazy, right?
Now that I said that, does that make you be like, shit? I really got to think about this.
No, it makes it more exciting, right? Like I'm at a place where I've enjoyed everything I've done, and it's like, okay, I've thought about this two different ways, right? Like I feel like last year, and I'm sure we'll talk about this, but like a world, it feels like I need to like redeem myself by going back to 63, right? For say worlds for to compete against Alba and Kiara again. But at the same time, it's like I don't have to do that. Like I've done a lot of things at 63 that I'm very satisfied with and that I'm happy with. And going 69 gives me an opportunity to do things that are greater for like my career, like you're saying, in entirety. And what I've done over the past 10 years, like this upcoming year will be 10 years since I've been started powerlifting, like obviously not on the world scene,
Mm.
but locally started powerlifting. And that's really cool. You know what I mean? Like that's an opportunity, a real opportunity, especially in modern day powerlifting. I feel like that not many people have. Um, and I was kind of saying to you, like, I feel like I've been genetically gifted in building muscle, especially for a female. Like my body builds muscle very well. So, like you were saying, I'm in the right sport, but like, why not use that? You know?
Mm.
Um, and bigger picture, like I have some total goals that I think going 69 would allow me to fulfill relatively quickly.
Well, there's a few things here. So first off, yeah, in terms of like redemption with Alba, Kiara, you do what we're talking about. Nobody's going to remember that in like 5 years. They'll
Yeah.
be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. No,
whatever.
I know.
Long term, um, you go up. if you whatever you do, again, if you win the world championship, I mean, forget about it. I mean, what are we talking about? That's insane. And even if you medal, even if you medal and end up on the podium in a third weight class at the world championship is crazy. I don't even know who's done that.
Mm.
I'm not sure. I'd have to fact check that.
Gonna have to
That's a
fact check it
trivia
because
one.
you
That
know I
alone.
don't know.
I mean, that alone is insane.
Yeah.
Um, so so in terms of the bigger picture, I think you'll be at peace with your decision if you do what your full potential is. And in terms of the goals you have in mind for, well, first off, yes, if putting on muscle mass is not an issue, this is the sport for you. And given that the weight classes are such a big spread,
Mm.
it is incredibly difficult for people to do what you were even talking about.
Yeah.
Incredibly, the weight classes in powerlifting are huge.
Yeah.
And to win multiple world titles in multiple weight classes or break multiple world records in multiple weight classes like you or even podium is it is so difficult given the size of these weight classes. And
Mhm.
if you are like, look, I've seen you in 2019 when you got as shredded as like it was crazy
Yeah.
how lean you had to get.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this in the past, what it took for you to do that. And then if you could keep adding on muscle mass and be like, I can do this.
Mhm.
This is my gift. This I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's scary. Like going 57 to 63 was pretty scary. Like that was a scary move for me. Like I thought when I went 63, I wouldn't be as competitive anymore. And I wasn't for a little while, but I was also I was an undersized 63 at a time where like the 63 class was kind of exploding as well. And I was also injured a lot at that time period. So it's hard to make good progress when you're injured a lot uh, and you're not like a full size 63. I feel like this jump would be easier for me for a couple of reasons. Like one is that I've already made a weight class jump and I've seen when I committed to it and actually didn't half commit where I still went down to 57 a couple of times, which I did do
Mm,
after committing to 63. So I committed in like 2021. And since 2021, like I've seen what has happened since I fully 100% committed, like both to my total and to like you're saying, like building muscle mass. Where now my first weigh-ins at 63 were like 60, 61. And now it's like I'm walking around at like 65, 66, right? So like I'm already a lot bigger. I would already be a lot bigger going into this than when I made the decision to go 63, relatively speaking. You know what I mean? Like I'm already over the
mm.
63 weight class walking around. And I have the belief that a similar thing would happen to my total if I committed to going 69. That did when I went to 63.
Well, so what are some of these goals you had in mind, anyways, for career wise that you're saying would the 69 kilo path would take you there?
Yeah, I mean, definitely going to worlds in 3 weight classes, like podium in 3 weight classes, 100%. Um, Hitting a 600 total is on my list.
The big one.
You know,
So
yeah. I mean, come on. I used to not think I would hit 500, and now I'm like, we're going 600. Like, no
isn't it
question.
crazy
Yeah.
how things could change? How
Yes.
like 500 at one point would be amazing. And
Yeah.
now it's like, why not six?
Yes. I remember when I think it was like 2019ish when people first started breaking 500, and that was a huge deal. And I didn't break 500. I don't think until like 2022 maybe, or the end of 2021. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. And then I got pregnant, and I was like, there's no chance I'm gonna come back and break 500.
Mm.
And then I did, and then I was like, well, I guess if I can do that, I can keep going, And now it was like 530, 540, 560, 570. So now I'm like, what's a couple more? It's a couple more kilos.
It's crazy for you to even when you say 2022, you
Yeah.
were like just breaking 500.
Yeah. I
And
know.
now we're talking in 2025,
Yeah, it
600.
was. Because that was World, 2022 World. I was 505. That was a
Yeah, you all were. Yeah.
yeah, 505. And that was the first time I broke 500.
Crazy how quickly. And
Yeah.
also another thing, I remember like back in the day, people saying when you get pregnant and you have kids, your body changes and it's not coming back and you just got to
Mm-hmm.
accept that and
Mm-hmm.
yada yada. Well, you had twins,
Mm-hmm.
came back
Mm-hmm.
stronger than ever. And the gains have been like year over year, like you said, just not going away, and you're like you had mentioned before we started recording, late 30s now.
Yeah.
And is this surprising? Like, do you remember back in the day hearing this? Like, will if I have kids, my body doesn't return. It just doesn't. The hormones change, everything changes and never goes back. Like, was this just what people used to say, or what have you experienced with all this?
I mean, people, that was definitely my belief going into it. Like when I thought when I would get pregnant, have kids, I would come back and compete, but it wouldn't be on the same level. Like I wouldn't be going to world. I wouldn't be competing at an elite level anymore. So I kind of waited like to have kids to be okay with that, like be like, all right, I'm okay with this and I'm okay with competing for fun. I mean, it still at the time wasn't really a big thing or widely accepted to lift heavy, like under the barbell when you were pregnant. CrossFitters were just starting to kind of do it, some of the big CrossFitters. And that was kind of what I leaned into when I got pregnant. And I still didn't think I was going to come back. Um, and yeah, like your body does change, like your body is completely different. But for me, what it did was it almost pulled me back and gave me a bigger picture. It made me a much smarter athlete. I don't work any less hard or I'm not any less consistent, but I'm way smarter than I used to be. And because of that, I'm much less injured. I used to be in a rush for everything. I used to force everything, push everything, because I thought my timeline was so short because I knew I wanted to have kids. And now I'm like, well, I had kids, right? Like I did that. So the only timeline I feel like I'm on is my own. I don't necessarily feel rushed by a certain period of time.
And you were saying too before we started recording how this point in your career. So you said you're in your late 30s. How old are you exactly again?
37.
Okay. Well, we have
Can I
Jurans.
call
We have
mid?
like
Can I say mid here? Yeah, me,
hey,
Jurens, and
hey,
Shell are all the same age.
I'm saying mid until I hit 8, 9, maybe
All
even
right.
9.
Mid,
Maybe
mid,
then
but
you start
I'm
saying late again.
mid 30s.
Mid, mid
Mid to
37
late.
and a half.
Yeah.
What do we do? 37 and a half. It's a negotiation right now. But so anyways, uh but you look at people like Jurans who still year over year getting stronger as well. And
Mhm.
I don't know if this is just a new wave. We know a lot more about training. I'm not sure. But you're certainly, you are by definition stronger than you've ever been.
Yeah.
What is this? Do you feel like, when you sit back and you look at your career, do you feel like there's an end coming? Do you feel like I just can't picture it? Or do you feel a sense of, if I have some career goals like a potential a historic three-weight
Mhm.
class run, or big numbers where I hit six, that is, when you think of some of these goals, do you tell yourself, all right, I'm not 21. I don't think the end's necessarily like just around the corner. I'm in my prime, certainly,
Mhm.
but I'm also not 21 years old.
Sure.
This, yeah.
Yes and no. Like I say that, and then Brian, my husband, always looks at me. He's like, "Yeah, okay, like sure." You'll hit 600. Be like, "How about 650?" Which I think any athlete's gonna say that, right? Like any competitor.
Right.
Like I might say to you, yes, if I take a 3 weight class run or I hit 600, I'll be good. Like I'll walk away. But really, any competitor is not gonna do that. Realistically, though, I think when either my body just stops responding the same way. I'm in pain. Like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm having a lot of fun right now. And I think
Mm.
that's half the reason why I'm also seeing so much progress. Yeah, it's a lot of hard work. Some days aren't fun, but like overall, overarching experience right now for me is that I'm enjoying myself. And I think when that possibly stops being true, then that's when I start to think about, you know, maybe I'll take a step back from competing at this level. I don't think I'll ever stop competing completely. Um, but obviously I know I won't compete at this level for my whole entire life. Maybe I will. But
Well, like a David Ricks would be like, you'd be
yeah.
surprised.
Yeah,
You'd be
exactly.
surprised.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But yeah, I also think like for us, like say me, Jordan, Shell, I mean Taylor, I think is in his mid late 30s too.
That's right. Yeah, he's
Uh
around 37-ish too. Yeah.
yeah. There's probably some others that are sneaking into their mid 30s that are strong. Uh, we won't call everybody out, but I think that it used to be a thing that like, oh, you're old, you know, like they're going to stop making progress, gains are going to slow down. But it's like strength has proven to be the last like athletic quality to truly peak. But I think what gets
Mm.
in the way, like you were saying about having kids and being pregnant, is life. Like life typically gets in the way for most people because there's more of it usually as you get older in different ways. And I think that is a big reason where a lot of people who are in their mid to late 30s traditionally have kind of dropped out of the sport. But I think that's also changing a fair bit.
That might be changing because, the monetary payoff for sticking, whereas
Yeah,
some people, as they enter into parenthood and whatever,
100%.
it might be like, which is a shame that you
Yeah,
have to it's it would be a shame to live life without a passion or like these side quests and passions and whatnot are amazing. And it'd be tough to be like, I'm just gonna forego this, do a 9 to 5 job and just, that's tough, but whatever. People
yeah,
make these decisions. But to have, if you stick around and knowing you could bump up your pay by 10, 20, whatever thousands, you got a family, it's
right.
actually financially responsible now.
Right. Right. And even into the point of where, traveling is expensive, but if you can have travel support, like that's very helpful. And that did not happen. I understand that like not that long ago. You know what I mean? Like powerlifting has changed a lot in a short period of time. Um,
Mhm.
even I mean, since 2019 to now, it's changed a lot. So
Huge.
I think it's changing the landscape too, you know?
When you were so when you're thinking about, okay, if I hit 600, if I do 3 world championships and whatever that might look like, true that after you hit it, you'll probably reset new goals. It won't be like, I ate enough, I'm satisfied, like I'm full, like that so much. But what about looking at it like in terms of your position in your career? If you tell yourself, I have, let's say, at my peak, 3 more years, I'll keep competing.
Yeah.
But let's say my prime is
Mhm.
3 more years. Does that recognition and self-awareness clarify the possible routes where someone who's 21, 22, like you got your Joe Bornstein style or Sarah Naldi in her 20s,
Kind of where you
where they're
want.
like, I don't know, maybe I go up, let's see what happens. Whereas
Mhm.
you're like, I have more clarity with my decisions. I know I don't have too many years to mess around. This 2026 first quarter, you're like, I need to like this decision I'm about to make,
Yeah.
63 or 69,
Right.
is pivotal. And
Yeah.
that's 1 year and maybe I got 2 more or
Yes.
3 more.
Yep.
And then I'm 40 and it's like shit. So does it add a different layer of I'm not playing around? If this is what I want, three
Yeah.
worlds or 600, I got to make a decision.
Yeah, I definitely have more clarity on things. Like even I know I mentioned like going 57 to 63, like I committed to it and then went back to 57 a couple times. Like I feel like my
Mm.
decisions have more clarity now. And perhaps that comes with age and experience, or perhaps like you're saying, like I understand that I'm 37, like I understand that I won't continually make the same progress year over year. But until like the data in my training shows otherwise, like I'm going off of that and basically planning for what you're saying of, hey, like perhaps I have 3 to 5 more years. And based off what we know and what the potential might be in those 3 to 5 years, this is what I want to do. Um, versus before, I mean, I never competed when I was in my early 20s, so I don't understand what that's like. But when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, I think I went to Worlds at 31, maybe for the first time, 32.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, if I'm doing the math.
Yeah. Um, I obviously, since I'm 37 and still think I'm 25, was making decisions a little bit differently. Like when you're in your early 30s, like you have, if you wish, a lot of time in the sport.
Yeah.
When you're in your early 20s, you can't even fathom how much time you have because you've only lived that long.
I
you
was I
know?
was taught, yeah. I was talking like a Joe Bornstein who's 22, and I'm like, what about when you're like 35? And I'm like,
Never
you're
mind.
22. Like if I
Yeah.
had 15 years to you is like almost
Right.
your entire life. That's like
Yeah.
2/3 of your life. You can't
It's
fathom.
crazy.
You're like, I don't know. What am I going to
Mm-mm.
do with 15 years? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah. And I think that's probably right. Like part of it, like why I'm still in it too, right? Like training age is something. And also, there might be a point in time in general where people want to take a step back from competing at such a high level because it is a lot, like it is a lot. Um, And it's like Tom Brady. Like guy wanted to do pro sports into his 40s, right? Like maybe Joe Bornstein wants to compete at this level for 20 years. But some people aren't going to choose that route because it's a lot, you know,
Mm.
and might step away for reasons that are not related to that. He's still getting, you know, he's not getting stronger. He might still be getting stronger, but to be like, hey, like I've had enough, you know, like sometimes pros retire when they're on their top for that reason.
Mm. The difference is Joe Bornstein, 20 years from now, you can't even picture.
No.
Whereas for yourself, if you're like, I got 3 years.
Right.
Exactly. I know exactly what I got to
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the qualifying routes, like that's where the clarity enters, where you're like, I don't got time to muck around.
Yeah.
This is what I want. This is what I'm 10 toes down going for. Now,
Right.
so Sheffield is, if Sheffield, you do get the invite,
Mm-hmm.
everything changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I got the Sheffield invite, I would go 63. I
And
mean, that's like a
what,
no-brainer.
well, I mean, what are you going to, yeah, exactly. I mean, because I get the
Yeah.
Shitco kind of ruin the fun in 69. And yeah, exactly. Um, and fair enough, right? If you go Sheffield, is 69 still a possibility for the world's run? You would have to take a look at what that looks like, the qualifying, etc. But is it still a
Mhm.
possibility?
It's always a possibility, right? I would hope it would be a possibility. Let's put it that way.
Mm.
But I would have to figure it out.
And you got to get one foot in front of the other, get on the other side of Sheffield. But would you even consider going to Nats as a 69 and being like, you know what, it means enough for me to try to go for three
I mean, I've
different
done
worlds?
crazier things.
Is a fact.
Right.
You're
I've
turning
done
around
crazier
too.
shit. Okay.
This is a fact.
So, you know, the fact is I've done crazier things. So yeah, of course I would consider that. At this point in time, like I know I mentioned like I am much smarter as an athlete, so I do compete a lot, but it is important for me. Like if I'm going to do it at this point in time, I'm not doing it like I'm healthy. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to push something. You know, if it was worlds or something, different story. But if it's just because, hey, I got invited to Sheffield, I'm going as a 63, and you know, I want to go to worlds as a 69. That means I have to go to nationals. And for whatever reason, if training wasn't going well, or if you know I'm pushing through something, like I would know to pull back. Like, hey, this isn't the right decision. Like bigger picture. You know, don't force a hand right now. Where there could be options later. You know, um, especially if I already have an option to go to
I
worlds.
wonder,
But you know what
I
I'm saying?
wonder, I wonder how this would work if you do, you go all out, obviously in Sheffield, um, and you could solidify yourself as a 63 at Worlds.
Mm.
If you show up at American Nationals as 69
Mm.
and you just explore options to be like, I got 63 in my back pocket. I'm not risking it. It's mine.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I got nothing to lose. Let me take a swing at 69. Oh, do I have
It's
that?
almost my
Then,
favorite kind of meat.
then you're really playing with house money, aren't you? You're like,
Yeah.
I'm already won. I'm already going to
Yeah.
Worlds. Let me see what weight class now.
Right now, if Kelly is listening to this, she's like, shh, no, too many meats. I'm already like,
Wow.
I want to do all of these meats in the fall. No, it's fine.
What's the spread between Sheffield and Nats? Do we know yet?
Well, Nats is what, March, mid March. It's not that long, 6, 8 weeks maybe
Hmm.
ish. Hey, let's see
Yeah.
how SBD Austin goes because that's 6 weeks from Avances.
I mean, listen,
Test
all I'm
run,
saying
baby. No,
is
I'm kidding.
all I'm saying is if you got 63 in your back pocket with your performance at Sheffield,
Yeah.
um, you got
Oh
nothing to
yeah.
lose.
Yeah. And if like listen, like training has been going well in general. And if his training was going well, like and I have nothing to lose, like who cares?
You're already going to
You
Worlds. It's
know?
like this is just fun. This is
Yeah,
a fun meet.
exactly. And like I don't care if I take that mentality and go into a meet and it doesn't work out. It's like, all right, I don't care. You know, like it's all right. Like
Yeah.
my ego isn't hurt. You know, like I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay. I'll survive. Um, yeah, I don't know. See what happens.
What how different have things been since you hooked up with Kelly though, huh? This has been a crazy run for you.
Yeah,
Holy
insane.
smokes, was that a good decision?
Yeah,
Kelly Mann is
it was a very good decision. was a good
Like
decision.
changed everything for you, it would appear, right?
Yeah, I would. You might say it was a career defining decision.
You might.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, it's pretty much changed everything for me. It's this November, I think. Yeah, this November was 4 years since I started working with her. Um, and like we're closing in on 100 kilos that we've added to my total, which is insane. Because it wasn't like I had a small total, like I was just beginning. Like my total was already competitive on the world level prior.
You were breaking world records. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
she took someone who was a world record breaker, already been the world. She didn't take a
right,
rookie and added
right,
100
right.
kilos.
That's what I'm
Well, I
trying to say.
guess.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
she took a
Right,
world class,
right,
world record breaking athlete.
right,
You were already on, like, everyone knew you already.
right.
And that's who she took.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty fucking cool.
That's huge. Yeah. And how did you end up meeting her again?
Instagram, man. Liz Craven posted something about her
Oh
helping her
yeah.
with her squat. And at the time I was hurt and like didn't know if I was going to compete anymore, but I wanted to be able to like squat and deadlift. So I reached out to her and basically said, I'm washed up. No, I didn't say that. I was like, I don't know what I want to do, but I know I want to be able to squat and deadlift. So I just did like one-on-one Zoom sessions for like 2 months. And then I said, hey, there's a meet in 6 weeks. I think I might do it. Will you coach me for the meet? And like, I'm not committing to anything after that, basically. Like, I don't know if I really want to do this anymore, but like, let's just see what happens. And the rest is kind of history after that. The first meet went
Fucking
well. One might say the first meet went well.
yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Because it's been guns blazing ever since.
Yeah.
So in terms of worlds, you're saying in like a redemption arc
Sure.
due to the world's performance. How much was that like impactful for you? Because in advances, you chose 69
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to.
Yeah.
So what was after tell me about worlds anyways. We haven't talked officially about it. Um tell me about the thoughts on it. You've won 69 kilo world title. You've done great things
You
already
just
in 69 kilo.
foreshadowed.
You're
You said 69, 63 though.
oh
You
63.
foreshadowed.
Sorry. Look at me.
Foreshadowing. You can
Oh my gosh.
clip that in June and be like, told you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no kidding. But so let's talk about it. Tell me what happened, your impression and how the impact on you afterwards, but then
Yeah,
still afterwards going to advances, choosing to go 69
sure.
as opposed to staying 63.
Yeah. Um, okay. So I guess I'll start with worlds. Go in chronological order. I mean, um, listen, worlds, it sucked. It was a really shitty day. I mean, in general, I had a lot of things going on like outside of lifting, which whatever, you don't get to pick when you compete, right? But like I'm going to show up whenever the meet is. And it was one of those things where I was just hoping for the best. Do you know what I mean? Like when you just show up and you're like, oh, hopefully things go my way. I wouldn't say confidence was at an all-time high, and it had nothing to do with training. Unfortunately, like training was actually going very well, but just because of different stresses. And well, from the start, I was like, okay, like this is what we're dealing with. And I would say like just I was never really there mentally, like the whole day, never really there mentally. And I tried to be. And so much to the point where even like down to deadlifts, we get down to the final deadlift. I didn't think I even had a shot like at pulling for first or I mean, obviously I know I pulled first, so like people can outpull me, but like putting on a number that would force someone to pull greater to win, right?
Mm.
At that point in time. I really didn't think I did. And obviously presented the option. Obviously, I picked that. um,
Mm-hmm.
which would have been a huge deadlift in general, like based on training, possible, sure, but based on that day, no fucking chance. You know what I mean? But I still picked it. I'm always gonna pick it. Like I'm always going to go for it. Like I'm a competitor that I want to win. Right. And even after the meet finished, I didn't even know if I podiumed. Like if I'm being completely honest, I had no idea
Really?
I didn't know what my total was. And I had no idea if I podiumed.
Were you questioning it? Were you asking yourself because you thought, I think I did so poorly, I might not even be on podium? Like, was that crossing your mind?
Yeah, I knew, okay, the one difference between this and Malta, in Malta, I thought I came in third until they announced the podium and I came in second in Malta, which like that's just dumb. But anyways, this time I did know before we went out to the podium that I did in fact podium. But yeah, I was questioning it. I mean, it was a very, very poor performance and like poor showing on my strength, but like it's part of sports. You know what I mean? Like sometimes the day is not going to be your day. Sometimes you're going to have really terrible days and it might have nothing to do with your skill and ability. And like that, it sucks, you know, like it sucks. And you kind of just have to figure out what you can pull from it, like moving forward. And sometimes there's not much. And sometimes you just have to move forward or decide if you want to move forward, you know? And it was kind of like something where for the first time, I was like, I want to take a step back for a couple weeks and like think about it, you know, like it was tough. It was hard. And it wasn't because I lost. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if I lose, but I want to lose having a like being myself, like competing. And like I want to lose because I lost, right? Like in Sweden, for instance, like I lost in Sweden on one of my best days ever. And not that I'm like, it was amazing, but like it was amazing. You know what I mean? Like it lit a different type of fire. I took so much from that day in losing, whereas this day was a lot harder for me. And it definitely changed some of my decisions going forward. But yeah, that's kind of vague,
So
but
there's, yeah,
that's what I'm giving you.
I feel like there's a lawyer present or something. What's
Yeah,
happening?
yeah,
But um, there's some stuff to unpack there. That's does any of it? Do you think the fact that like in at U.S. Nationals, I remember saying Meghan Scanlon is the strongest 63 kilo lifter that ever lived. I
yeah,
think that was the soundbite, but
yeah,
fact by
yeah,
numbers,
yeah,
fact.
sure, of
And
course.
you were the reigning world champion,
Yeah,
the strongest 63 that ever lived.
yeah,
So does that so because it wasn't just like if you do this enough,
mm-hmm.
you'll win, lose, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
But at the timing of, and we say lose, I mean, you were on the podium, you got a bronze medal. It seems a little harsh considering some people would die to make it that
I
far,
know.
but
And
I know
people
what you
say
mean.
that to me, but I'm like, yeah. But like, I knocked 20 something kilos off my total in like 5 weeks.
Right.
You know
No,
what I
no. Okay.
mean?
So
Like, that's an
yeah,
L.
yeah.
That is an L. Okay.
So fair enough.
And
So
not
this
being
is where,
injured. Like, I wasn't
so
injured.
this is where is it because is it also the fact that like I lost my world title? Like I was the one. Like I was the strongest that ever lived.
Mm,
I was the reigning world champ. So it'll feel different when I took that L. Like if I had lost, came back, and then I'm still in third, it feels different than no, but I was going into this
mm.
Megan Scanlon. And you're
Yeah.
like, freak, it didn't, it doesn't, does that hurt a little differently or
You mean like after?
yeah,
Or
or
like
you
going
might have
into
even
it, did that
walked into
affect me?
you might have even walked into this the way you're describing knowing I this isn't going to be the day for me.
Mm.
And it's got to be tough being like, frick,
Yeah.
I'm the person. I'm the queen of the
Yeah.
63s. Like
Yeah.
I can't live up, and I know I'm
Yeah.
not going to live up. And like
Yeah,
shit, man.
that was hard because listen, at the end of the day, like, did I believe I going into that meet? Like, let's remove, say, like the week leading into the meet. Like, was I thinking I'm the strongest? Like, I'm going to win this. Like, I'm going to show up and do my job, and I'm going to win this. Absolutely.
Really, as just a week out, you were already thinking, I got this.
Yeah,
So
but
it changed in a week.
yeah, like it had
Holy
nothing to
shit.
do with lifting, really. You know what I mean? Um, and more to do with my mental space at the time. But I guess the hard part there is I'm also smart enough to know in order to win against Alba and Kiara, like I have to be at my best.
Mm,
You know, like I'm competitive and I think I'm very realistic about where I am and like my abilities. And I feel like if I knew that if I was going to win, I had to show up at my best. And I just knew that it was going to be a big ask for the day. Clearly, but
mm.
like even like I thought I would have done better than I did, but even you know, in that I really didn't know. I really wasn't confident that I was going to be like able to do what I had to do.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah, depending on what's going on, like if it robs you of like food, sleep, etc., and got you stressed out, like yeah, for sure. I've That's another thing that getting older will, unfortunately, sometimes life comes in, it rattles your plans, and you've
Yeah.
seen a lot of things like ah shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I
yeah,
mean,
fair enough.
I've never done this before. I've never, and even dumbly, like when I used to talk about how before I used to compete like through injuries and train through injuries, which I never should have. And it definitely held me back for a while. Um, I've never questioned like showing up to a meet ever. Like I've never questioned pulling out of a meet. Like, no, like I'm always going to show up. This was the first time where I had a flicker in my head. Like, is this the right decision? Do you know what I mean? Like
Holy
going to the,
smokes!
yeah, like going to the airport and like, obviously I did it, but like I had that, like, I was like, I've never had this. You know what I mean? Like I've never even had like this little like flash in my head before. Um, yeah, it was like it was weird experience. And now thinking about like back on it, it almost feels like a dream. It was a dream. It was a nightmare. But anyways,
Really? Nightmare. Well, I mean, I know what you mean. In
yeah,
terms of like bigger picture, it wasn't like it could have been so much worse. Like
yeah,
it was
yeah,
by no means a
yeah.
disaster performance,
No,
but
and like I'm healthy. You know what I mean? Like bigger picture. Like I came away, I walked away. Like I'm not injured. You know what I mean? Like I'm healthy. Like you're gonna have bad days. You're gonna lose. Like it's all right. Like it is what it
yeah,
is.
you got another medal for the medal count. Like your
Yeah.
world's performances are,
It's
yeah,
not my
you by
first
no means
loss.
is
It won't be my last.
right, right. But
Yeah.
I remember I've said this story before. So sometimes somebody I've known for years, if they have a bad performance or whatever, if I end up like I'm around and I'm
Yeah.
backstage or whatever, and I see them lock eyes, I'll give them like a little pep, like, hey, listen, give them a little pep talk, whatever. Thing is, you're a veteran and you're like, you've been around the block. And I remember you were leaving the war and I saw you. We lock eyes and I go, hey, Meg, listen, you showed a lot of heart. You go, Ryan. And I was like,
I was
calm,
like,
calm
shut the
yourself.
fuck
You,
up.
I remember the way you said it too was like, Ryan. And I was like, we're all good. Yeah, yeah. I'll
Yeah, like
give you
I
a
don't
day.
need to show
Yes.
heart. You know what I
What am
mean?
I
Like,
doing?
come on.
You're like, let me be. Let me sit in this one for a day. I'm like, fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
have to be honest, that part I think changed a lot because of last year. What I mean by that is like losing. Like in Sweden, like no one really, not that no one bucked me, but everyone was like, oh, like really good job. Like, because I performed well, even though I lost. Whereas like this, like I didn't perform well. And obviously, like I came off of where were we in Germany, like winning, you know what I mean? Like having a great year. So that part changed a lot.
Mm.
Like a lot of people coming up and saying things that some were nicer than others, but they were all trying to be nice. They were all meant well, but it was kind of just like, all right, like I don't want to talk about it. Like, like I don't want to be
Like
bogged right now.
in terms of that part change, do you mean kind of like we were saying where the expectations of like you laid it out well. In Sweden, if they didn't expect you to necessarily win, they thought you'd do well. Some
Yeah,
people would think you'd win,
sure.
but there was other people who had been winning, so
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to try to just go with who was winning before, blah blah blah. But after you've already won,
Yeah.
then if you don't win, then they'll feel it. That's where the conversation changes.
So when someone says you gave a lot of heart, and it's like, fuck heart, I want to win. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I
No, but you
got
know
you.
what I mean. You know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
that. That was interesting, and even to the point of like some people were like, "Oh, you've had a good career." It's like, dude, like I'm allowed to have a bad day. Like I'm
Well,
allowed to have an off day. Just let it happen. And like,
you've had a good career.
yeah,
They might not have meant it like you're
I
done, but
totally, but
but
mm.
but at this point in time, don't even dip the toe in that pool where you're like,
Like, okay, like
you've
I
had a
know
good
you're meaning well, but like, really, that was your choice of words? Like
career. Don't retire me.
having a seizure. Okay, thanks so
Yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah. Look, and
uh,
it adds context. Here's another thing. By the time I cross paths with you, 4 or 5 of these or more of these comments have been thrown at you. And this is where like you really know. I know because I've been around enough worlds. So I'm like, all right, I got to give this
yeah, yeah,
guy, this
yeah,
girl,
sure,
depending on who it is, their space. But some people don't know. Some people
yeah,
have no idea. And you
yeah,
might be the 10th person when you're on your way back to the change room or whatever the
yeah,
heck. that's
Yeah.
giving you this speech.
Yeah.
And some people will have rattled you with some shit thinking it's encouraging, but it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. And like that warm up room was busy.
oh yeah,
Yeah. There was a lot of people back
this,
there. So I was like,
it's cramped. The media gets more and more every single freaking year.
yeah.
Everybody's trying to grab people. Like there's cameras all over the place, coaches all over the place, and blah blah blah. 100%. So you leave there, you're disappointed. I get it. Because
Mm,
you're not at peace like previous times. You're like, I had a phenomenal performance. If someone bests that, hats off to them. But I'm at peace
yeah.
with my performance, so I'm okay with my placing.
100%.
Whereas
Yeah.
this one, you're like, um, I I didn't have a good performance. I'm not
Right.
okay with my placing.
Right.
I'm not at peace with it.
Right.
I'm not at peace with this. I don't like this. I got a bad
Right.
taste in my mouth. I
Yeah.
could do better.
Yep.
If Alba or someone beat me at my and I did great, fine. Because you have won and you've done, you can be
Yeah.
a it's easier to be at peace when you've had your day and you be like, all right, let her have her day. But I did good.
Yeah.
I'm proud on the numbers I did.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So afterwards, what are you thinking in terms of advances and hearing about this? And you're thinking 69 kilos instead of 63? Were you tempted to try to put up what you think you could have at Worlds at 63? Was that ever thought like a redemption? Let me show you what would have happened, or are you thinking, let me turn a new leaf? Let me just That's another way of putting it behind you is let me do
Mm.
69. Let me open up another door. Let me not even think about it. What were you thinking when this came about?
Well, I actually had agreed to do advances before Worlds. Not necessarily out of weight class, but like just in general. So like I already technically like had that on the calendar. Granted, I understand you can pull out of meets, but like again, as mentioned, I typically have a track record of not doing that, for better or worse.
Mm.
So I had already kind of, had that in my head. And then after Worlds, I knew it was there and I was just, gonna kind of see how things went and go. You know what I mean? And it was a GL meet too. Um, but the decision, or I guess, shall I say, decisions were made when I then signed up. So then obviously time goes by, I start lifting again, lifting's going well. And all these people are going to SPD Austin. And then like the registration is open and Brian and I are out to dinner. We're actually out, like, doesn't happen often. I'm like, should I just sign up for SPD Austin? So I signed up. Luckily, I got invited to the prime time. Look at me go. But
Well, yeah, it's not surprising, but
it's
yeah,
6 weeks. No, I know, but it's 6 weeks. It was the 6 weeks separate them.
quick.
Yeah, so I didn't tell Kelly before I signed up. I'm one of those like do it, ask for forgiveness. So I did it, and then I was like, so I how about I do both of these meets and in 6 weeks? And I said, here's my deal basically. I won't cut. I'll just walk in, wherever I'm sitting at. Like I'll just walk into the meet. I won't cut. And we'll only like we can train, like I don't have to like necessarily, maybe we peak for one of them, like, but not both of them. So that's how I got two meets in
Right.
6 weeks.
That's not gonna happen. You're gonna be like
Yeah,
dropping the hammer again.
I know.
As
I
soon
know.
as Avances is done, you're like right back in. But
Yeah. So that's how I got into two meets in 6 weeks, and also 69. I'm competing in Austin at 69 too. Like I'm not gonna cut.
okay, interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
so fair enough. And leading to Avances, are you still disgruntled about Worlds? Are you more at peace with it looking back? Like time has settled things. And then afterwards, with your performance at 69, now new talk, and now new questions. And now you're
Sure.
like, hey, you know what? We were kind of talking about like bigger picture, and life can give you bigger picture as time passes.
Mm-hmm.
Time heals all wounds. And not only that, time passes and all of a sudden new doors start opening and new possibilities. You're like, Jesus, if I go down certain pathways, I won't give a shit less about certain things I've already done.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts after advances?
Yeah, man. I mean, once I started training, we took it kind of slow at first, and I kind of got to the point where I was like, I need to lift more weight. I feel that again. Do you know what I mean? Like I want to be challenged. And I literally showed up at the gym one day and just was kind of like the switch flipped again, And it was in September. I remember I was squatting. It's always squatting, right? Because like the load's on your back. So you got to be a little bit crazy to do like heavier sets of squats. And it was just I hit that point. And I remember I texted Kelly and I was like, at the end of a block, and I was like, I need next block to be heavier. Like I want to do heavier sets. I want to be challenged. I want to move load again. That's why I love the sport. You know what I mean? Like that's why I'm in it. And if I'm going to do it, I want to do it. So going into advances, like I definitely, I was confident. You know what I mean? Like I didn't, at this point, like worlds isn't something that I have in my mind when I'm going into training and going into like advances. Like I wasn't like, oh, I need to do better than I did. I mean, God, if I didn't do better than I did at worlds, we'd have a problem. But
Jesus.
you know,
That would have been
then I probably would have retired. But it wasn't like necessarily like the chip on my shoulder. Did it make the day even better? Yeah, of course. You know, like was it one of those things where it was like I felt like I proved to myself, like I was saying to you, like bad days can happen and it can be a one-off. Like you can move on from it, you know?
mm-hmm.
And I mean, I had a great day at
Mm-hmm.
Avantis, like a very good day. Very
9
good.
for 9, 573.5 American record.
Yeah. And like I didn't look like I was dying on my third attempts. It was amazing, you know? Like usually, I mean, you've seen me grind some squats and deadlifts.
Sure.
They can go on for a while.
Yeah.
These, it was like, oh, like I got a couple more, you know, like this isn't necessarily top end for me, which is pretty cool. And, you know, like that's exciting. So,
So what would you attribute that to? Would you say not cutting?
mm-hmm.
Um, and how you felt with that? Because you were saying, I think we're not recording yet, but going into this, knowing you're going to go 69 kilo,
Mm,
you didn't have to track, ate how
mm,
you liked, and not tracking and eating whatever you like. You still could have cut to 63. So I don't think
sure.
like you probably gained some muscle mass. It wasn't like you just went crazy.
All right.
Your natural intuitive eating was around, I think you were 66 or something, or 65, 66 around there.
Yeah.
But you felt obviously very strong.
Yeah.
So now it's going to come down to, okay. And you were, yeah, 9 for 9, picture perfect.
Yeah.
Couple questions here. First
Yeah.
off, um, does that put your mind at peace having the performance you did at Advances in terms of worlds? Does it help regulate those emotions and you feel a little bit more vindicated on your end because you actually got to put forth a performance that you can be proud of,
Yeah.
all your lifts and a PR total. And
Mm-hmm.
then on the flip side, yeah, what would you attribute it to? More mental clarity, the diet, the food, not cutting, and then obviously that's going to lead to more questions, depend. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, I was just in a completely different mental state in general. Like in terms of stress was a lot lower, like mental clarity, like I just showed up to have fun. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like I kind of knew what my goal was for the day. I wanted to make sure that I could go compete and have the numbers on the platform match what I'm or exceed what I'm doing, line up with training. Let's at least put it that way, right? Line up with training and what we're thinking and what we're predicting. And that totally happened. But to say, especially in the beginning part of the meet, that like I wasn't nervous would be a lie. And like there's
oh,
that
really?
like that meet didn't not that it didn't mean anything that's not fair, but you know what I'm saying. Like it if I totaled in the, you know, like even if I totaled 560, that would still be a really good total, right? Like it wasn't necessarily like or if I didn't end up on whatever as the first female on the podium, like it wouldn't have really been like a big deal, but it was more of like I wanted to perform well for myself. So it was mostly like internal pressure, but and like prove that I still have it on the platform. You know what I mean? Mostly mentally, not
Mm.
physically. Like physically, I know I'm strong.
And after that, well, I mean, it's interesting that because you're right in terms like of titles, in terms of the whole overall, like what this is going to impact your career, the pressure wouldn't be there.
Right.
Um, and you went up a weight class,
Mm-hmm.
which you would think might alleviate even more pressure. You might be like, look, I'm a small 69. I'm really
Yeah.
63. You can
Sure.
always come back and be like, I'm really 63. I'm having fun
Mm.
here. But when you show up, it is like, oh my gosh, you're on the platform. Everyone's
Yeah.
watching regardless.
Yeah.
If no matter how you try
I
to set the table,
honestly though, I almost like hate like weighing in heavy because then I feel like the expectations are even higher.
kind
You
of
know
is
what I mean?
sometimes.
I know that's why I kind of hate it, but I just kind of had to like get over it.
You can't say I had a tough weight cut or whatever that time. Then you're
No.
like, okay.
Yeah, you just kind of have to get over it, Yeah. So I don't know. Like I don't know. I just I feel strong.
So you you came in there and you hit what you wanted to hit. But now that you did and you made it official and everyone sees it, it asks all these other questions now, like what route you're going, etc. Did you
Yeah.
go in there with this? Did you go in there thinking
Let
this
him
can open doors?
wonder.
Were you like this can open
Let him
doors?
get nervous. Yeah, oh, 100%. Like I definitely went in there and like Kelly and I have had conversations in general too. Like, hey, like would in the future going 69 be the right decision? When would it be the right decision? And things like that. Like there's always been an open door there. And for a while it made no sense because I was not even 63, but like as time went on, it was very clear that I was getting literally bigger and building muscle quickly. So like that door has always been open. And I think that with training, and when I say with training, I mean, I, I trained in July and August, but I was consistent with it, but it definitely wasn't as hard as I typically will train. Overall. And maybe that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like maybe I needed that for a while. But training in September and October going into the meet went very well. And kind of like that first meet, say 4 years ago, I did with Kelly, like it kind of just proves like there's still a lot there when I'm healthy and when I'm ready to compete. And so when I went and competed at 69, did it kind of prove that like, hey, this is also a route I could take and it would be a successful route? Like, yeah, absolutely. Um, and am I gonna let the 69, the 63s just wonder? Yeah, I am. I'm just gonna let them think about it. They can think about it when they go to bed at night and they can think like, what is she gonna do? Should I be concerned? Maybe, maybe not. 50-50. Yeah.
It's funny too how yeah, that's a nice play. Be like, let me be on all your minds in two different weight classes right now. You're like the Agatha Shitko in America. You're like, who knows? Maybe I'm going 84. I don't know.
I'm just gonna keep going up.
Yeah. But fair enough. It's in nowadays when you show up to a competition, people like this is Meghan Scanlon. Meghan Scanlon's in the roster.
Yeah.
Now it holds a little bit of weight. It holds a lot of weight to a lot of people if they
Yeah.
think they're going against you or if they think they're going against just another contemporary who's like a younger upstart prospect their own age. It's like,
Yeah.
a legend
Yeah.
is on the roster now.
Yeah, I mean, like I mean, let's be honest. Like, whenever I get on a platform, like I always feel some sense of pressure to perform, no matter what. It doesn't matter what the meet is.
Mm.
I remember I told Brian last year I did a local meet like in December, and I was like, I've never. That was actually the most nervous I've been. I feel like in a very long time. And he was like, why? And I was like, I just felt like I had to perform.
You know, you
Like
know what?
give the people what they want. But like,
Let me ask you about this. This is interesting. Some people purposely sandbag meets.
yeah,
I'm not sure why. There's
sure.
various different reasons you could, but some people legitimately purposely pull back.
Mm,
Do you think some people sandbag meets to take that pressure off? To be
absolutely,
like,
it's way less pressure to sandbag a meet. Way
and
less
just be
pressure.
like, yeah.
The only issue, and some people might never have, some people might never have an issue, right? Like depending on who the person is. You could say there are especially some guys that might never have an issue, right? Like with head-to-head competition where it's literally kilos coming down to the last pull. But if you're sandbagging meets all the time and you are unsure of what it's like to truly push your third attempts under, with someone breathing down your neck, like that's a skill,
Mm,
and you know, I don't know. I'm not a fan of sandbagging a meet. There's also a difference between like sometimes you have a meet like advances, for instance, where like your thirds move really, really well. That's not necessarily like I wasn't sandbagging a meet, but like there are some people that legitimately sandbag a meet, like don't take thirds or take one that's like almost an opener. And I understand like you might still be able to win, but it's like, I don't know, like it's just not me. I'm not gonna lie.
You never sandbag meets. I was gonna say like some of your local meets are
No.
the ones that you just blow them up. You're
Like,
like, I don't. Hey, I
and
don't care
listen,
what the
I'm
spread
saying like
is.
if you're healthy, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like
Yeah,
there's different scenarios, but like if you're healthy, like again, take the opportunity, especially if it's a big meet. I know you're saying like a local meet, but like, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna go hard at a local meet, but like I'm going hard anywhere. There's a platform.
right.
But like, yeah, like if you're on the world's platform or the nationals platform and you're sandbagging and you can still win, but you have an opportunity that you could do something great, even if you don't necessarily have head to head competition, like you don't know, you might not get that opportunity again. Anything can happen. Like anything can happen in the sport, in your life, and someone else can come out of nowhere. Like you can't, there are things you don't have control over.
I mean, the Taylor Atwood story of at 2022 Worlds purposely did 790. I think he did like point 0.5.
Mm-hmm.
So just at the world record, knowing Sheffield is around the corner and drop videos about like, man, I'm gonna essentially paraphrasing, obviously, but kick everyone's teeth in out
Yeah.
Sheffield and like this is mine. Severely injured. The injuries plagued him for like the next like year and a half. He took like a year and a half off. Then he came back, took him another year and a half to get to where he was. And then he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna drop the hammer on everyone from now on now, huh?
Yeah.
Like there's I totally he showed
Yeah.
up at Sheffield badly injured in like fought it's life and death for a way less big total
Yeah.
and realizing that world I probably should have just went all out. I
Yeah.
had nothing to lose. I didn't know it.
Yeah. I mean, that's when I feel like those moments, like that's when you realize whether it's an injury, there's going to be some big things that are going to slow progress down, like more so than just being old, which I feel like everyone wants my progress to slow down because I'm old. But like injury is a big one. And at some point in time, injury is likely going to happen if you are competing at a high level. It's likely going to happen. So it's like you can control that as well as you can, but some things are outside of your control, and you need to take advantage of great days when they present themselves. I guess I should say that, right? Because
Mm.
you don't necessarily get to, like, you don't choose when you're going to show up and compete if you're competing at a high level. Like you need to show up at nationals, you need to show up at worlds, and you need to perform well enough um, to do what you have to do, right? But if you have the opportunity to show up on a day where you're healthy, you're strong, and you feel good, take advantage of it, because like that aligning doesn't happen every meet. Even meets that you win, even meets that you know, to the outside, to the public, like you did really well. They're like, wow, that was awesome. You might know in the back of your head, well, maybe, you know, like I had more in me. Maybe it wasn't the best
Mm.
day. Um, so like when the stars align, like take advantage of it.
I mean, there's so many stories of like a Jesse Norris that in his 20s was done,
Mm-hmm.
or Brett Gibbs, all of a sudden in all the battles for world titles year after year, and all of a sudden, boom, gone quick, quick. It happens quick. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
for sure happens quick.
Mm-hmm.
You could be right on top. Everyone pictures when I start slowing down and fading. No, it can be bam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that's done now. And
Yeah,
whatever you had in your back pocket, like you're talking 600. If you had an opportunity where you're like, I could do 600 today, I think
I
I'm
would
going
do
to
it.
save it.
I don't care where it
I,
is.
yeah, it's like I think I'm going to save it. No, you ought not to save it
Right.
because the next year
Yes.
or next Sheffield or
100%.
whatever might not happen.
Right.
Do it. Hit it.
Yes.
Put 600 on your resume.
Yeah. Like
Take it
don't be
out and
a,
put it.
you don't want to be the shoulda woulda. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah.
I could have done that. Yeah, but you didn't. Like, if it is there, just take the opportunity. People
Mm.
think this is something of like, hey, I've been around for a bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, take the opportunity. Like your older self will thank you for that.
100%. Yeah. And I do agree. Some of it will be, I could take a little bit I could take the edge off of this by almost mitigating people's, like you don't have to speak to why you didn't. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it like
Sure.
why didn't your total jump up?
Yeah.
Why is your total not progressing year over year? Why this? Why that? Why it puts more pressure of performance on to be like, I'm going all out.
Yeah.
Okay, as soon as you say that, everyone will be leaning in.
Looking.
How many more kilos onto your total?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said earlier,
Yeah.
you're not cutting weight, Meg.
Yeah.
We expect a bump if you don't
Right.
cut weight. You're going all out. We expect a bump then, and you are putting
Yeah.
pressure. And you could just be like, I'm not cutting weight, and I'm also holding back for fun. You know, you could do that. Take a little pressure on
Mm-hmm.
who gives a shit. Or you could be like, nope,
Yeah.
I'm going, I'm not cutting weight. So the expectation there that
Right.
there's a bump and I'm going
Right.
all out and whatever happens, happens.
Right.
Let it be. Let's let it
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah. 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 And I mean, not for nothing, but doing that has, I feel like, been such a huge advantage to me because I've been in a ton of close competitions year after year after year, whether it's like in nationals or on worlds, whether the totals end up close, it's always like, oh, they're going to be neck and neck, right? So going into that, like, of course, you're thinking about, I have to be at my very best, right? Like, if that's the conversation. Um, and at this point, it's like, I assume that going into the meet, like, I assume there's someone going to be breathing down my neck. And I'm prepared for that. I feel very prepared for that. And I feel like if you're someone that doesn't necessarily have that experience, it can be hard, you know?
What about SBD Austin right afterwards?
Yeah.
Is this a whole new challenge now to be like,
Because I
all
just
right,
made the American record higher, and that's what the whole meet's about.
where you're like, you are really rising to the challenge of not like alleviating pressure off yourself. You're literally, how do I make
Yeah.
this tougher?
Yeah. Well, there's also like, I mean, not for nothing, like throwing myself again into like a weight class where there's a whole bunch of competition. Like both Gabby and Jackie are going to SPD Austin. Um, and I know that they're both very strong and their training is going very, very well, you know? So again, like I am very realistic with the fact that if I want to do what I want to do, I need to show up and have a great day.
Mm.
I can't just sandbag my way through this.
How is your body feeling so quickly after advances stuff?
I'm gonna be honest, my body feels great. It's been a really interesting month. Got sick, that was fun. My dog's had 2 surgeries so far, but my body feels great. So I don't know. I have no clue what I'm doing. I never run 6 week blocks, so I'm just gonna see what happens. But so far it's going really well.
It's good prep though, potentially for next year, if like depending on which way you want to swing this with, Sheffield Nationals, Worlds, whatever. It's a
Yeah,
nice little tester. You guys, at least next year, will be like, we've done a 6 week block before. We
yeah,
kind of sort of know what to anticipate. There's international travel, which is put you back a little bit, put you back a few days, but
yeah. At this point, I feel
it,
like yeah, some of the places in the US are harder to get to. Like nationals will be harder to get to than worlds,
is
relatively
that
speaking.
right?
I mean, the time change is greater, but like, yeah, pretty much.
Hmm.
For me, at least.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right too. Also, not having to cut is a huge cutting
Huge.
twice in a row, 6 weeks is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Um, yeah, which is also part of the decision of I did say after Worlds, I was like, unless it's for nationals or worlds, like I'm not gonna cut to 63. Because I did do a ton of meets in 2024, 2025, where I competed pretty much all at 63. So I was dieting a lot in like 4 meets, you know what I mean? And after a while, it just gets old. Like, why am I doing this? Like, I can just compete at 69 in some of these meets. Like, it does. But like I'm saying to you, like, I feel when I do that, it's like, oh, she didn't weigh in at 63. You know what I mean? Like, so I just had to get over that. But like, since getting over that, it just made my life a lot better. And it's like, I understand, like, I can weigh in over 63 and it doesn't matter. Like, no one cares.
Hmm.
But,
Well, I mean, it did become a talking point,
oh, yeah,
but
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
like people are, I bet you all the 63s and 69s are paying attention.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But I think more for like me, like, like I just had to get over the fact mentally that like, hey, like I
Mm.
like competing. Like, for instance, this fall doing 2 meets, like I like doing that, like I enjoy competing multiple times a year, but like if I'm going to do that, I have to do that intelligently. So like we need to make sure we're peaking for the meets that mean the most. We need to make sure that, hey, I don't need to diet through meets that I'm doing for fun. Like I can show up and just have a day and like that's okay. It doesn't matter if on the score sheet I weigh in at 66, you know.
Mm.
So
Where would you put your advances like performance in total in terms of all your accomplishments? It's the biggest total. It's
yeah,
an American record. It's significant,
sure.
but it's not like a world title.
Sure.
But what do you think?
Um I mean, that's a hard question. I feel
It's
like you're putting
tough. I
me between
know it's
a
very
rock and a hard
difficult
place right
because
here.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. It
Yeah.
is literally you were at your biggest and strongest on that day,
Hmm.
which isn't nothing.
Yeah.
If someone ever stops you in the street 20 years from now and they're like, tell me your numbers, you're going to pull Avance's numbers.
Yeah.
Ironically, you will first say the accomplishment of world champion, yada, yada, of
20
course.
years from now, I'll pull the 600 numbers, but tomorrow I'll pull the
Yeah,
600.
that's funny.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That's
Um,
right.
yeah, I get what you're saying. I also like tend to like, I really enjoy those kind of meets. You know, like that was something when the whole split happened, like that was a big decision for me because like say the Arnold, which I know doesn't really happen anymore anyways, but I was like, I love that. Like, I love competing to compete. You know what I mean? Like in front of an audience, like for fun. Like that's awesome to me. Does it hold the most significance to me in terms of my career? No. But do I enjoy that? And is that something that I think is really important for like me long term and just continuing to like push and have enjoyment in the sport? Like, yeah, it is important for me to have fun, you know? Um,
Mm.
so some meets like nationals or worlds I go to because 100% like they're significant. And I want to make sure that my name is there. And I want to make sure that when I'm done competing, like, yeah, there's somewhat of a legacy of like, hey, I've showed up this many times and I've won this many national titles. I've podiumed this many times at worlds. Um, but I think why I've been around so long and why I continue to do well is because I also get a lot of enjoyment out of the sport. And I think it's important to compete for fun. Um, and I know some people think that's a ridiculous statement, like, and you shouldn't, like, some people's hot take is you should compete less. But I think that those people take themselves too seriously.
Yeah, I mean, some maybe also like some people can't rebound as easily, and
Totally
like
got
some
that.
people,
Totally
some
got that. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
I mean, Jesus can't be competing all of the time.
yeah, no,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like there's some
yeah,
people that, yes, struggle with injuries or like I was saying, how like it's just not an intelligent move for me to sit at 63 to compete at a fun meet anymore. Where like some people will probably only compete if they're cutting to their weight class. And if it's a big cut, that might not be the best move. You know, like I understand that, but I'm just saying, like in general, I do think it's
mm,
important to like if you're going to be in the sport for a long time, to enjoy yourself, to have a little fun with it, like show off a little, you
100%.
know?
And what I noticed, so I remember Penna, who has some hero cuts to make 66. One time he kept doing in the gym, he was around like 730s or whatever. And every time a competition was coming and he was going to do a 66, he was like, I'm going to bring 730 to the platform.
Yeah,
And then, like, Sheffield, he did like 690 something.
yeah,
And which is, he's done like
yeah.
713, but he did 690 something.
It's huge.
And then eventually he realized because he just one time did not do a cut, just didn't do a cut, didn't bulk yet, but didn't water cut, just
Mhm.
walked in and did 732 or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
isn't that crazy?
And then all of a sudden he was like,
Hmm.
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 And he didn't bulk to 74, but he's
Yeah.
like, wow, okay. Hang on a
Weird.
second. What's my
Yeah.
body telling me? That was interesting. It was fun. I actually brought it to the platform this time.
Mhm.
And to your point about um inevitably some people gave the comments that you said would is the stressor. "Oh, I thought you would have done more if you didn't cut."
Yeah.
Whatever. That's
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
right. That happened to Penna.
Yeah.
However, other people were like, yeah, but nevertheless, 730
Right.
something is in the
It's
pocket. It
huge.
was just not a water cut. He didn't bulk
Right.
or anything.
Right.
And it actually that was the seeds of the decision. Obviously, he ended up going to 74
Mhm.
and he did 74 on his or sorry, 730 something again for his debut at 74. But instead of this being a crazy total for him now it's the new basement. Now it's the new 690
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Whereas 690
Yeah.
was a bad performance at 66,
Yeah.
730 is now the basement performance for him at 74, where he's like, oh my God, I can't believe I missed a couple squats and
Mhm.
missed my last deadlift. And I'm like, yeah, but in the same year, you went from
I know.
690 in
Yeah, but we don't
January.
care. We don't care. It's all about
That's true.
we want more.
Yeah, fair enough. But it is interesting how just if nothing else, it's good to test the waters. How
Mm.
much am I losing on my water cut, my final few weeks cut?
Yeah.
And what does it and if it's not a lot, say less. You're probably doing everything right with your cut and your body's okay with it.
Yeah.
But if you do this like you and Penna, where you're just not going to cut, you're not crazy bulking, you haven't committed to the new weight class. But what happens if I don't cut the last few weeks?
Mm-hmm.
And holy shit, my total jumped up, like in Penna's case, 30 kilos or 25 kilos.
Mm.
Like that's not insignificant.
Right.
Now you just take a step back and be like, I
Yeah.
can't ignore that. I got to
Sure.
start thinking now.
Yeah, I get that. But at the same point in time, like, I feel like it seems, I don't want to say that more significant than it is. That's not fair. But like, I totaled 566 at 63 in March, right? So, like, for me to put 7 kilos on my total since March isn't like a crazy thing. You know what I mean? Like, even if I competed at 63. I guess let's put it this way. I have experience with big water cuts. 2019, Megan would totally agree with you. I don't
Yeah.
think I'm at that point yet at 63.
Well, this is what I was going to say is,
Yeah.
so for Penna, it as soon
Yeah.
as that happened, probably in the back of his head, and then he's going to cut down again. He's like, maybe this is it. Whereas for
Yes.
you, maybe in the same scenario of going in afterwards, telling yourself, you know what, maybe my body's saying I could keep doing 63. Maybe, I mean, the doors really are swung wide open for you.
Yeah, and I think it's funny you said the basement. So like I competed at the local meet in December, and I think I told like 560 or something like that. And then I went to Sheffield and told 555, I think. So like a little bit less, right? But it wasn't a great day for me. Like I had no payday, but my bench shit the bed, which I usually get a lot of kilos from. So I actually had a pretty good day.
Mm,
But you know what I mean? So, but it was almost like after that meet, I was like, all right, like 560 is the basement. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if I'm competing at 63. So, like, I left Sheffield kind of like little chip on my shoulder, like, what the heck, man? Like, and then I obviously signed up for nationals after because I had the chip on my shoulder and make rash decisions. But I had a great meet, right? Like, I turned around, had a
yeah.
great meet, 566. So that's how I kind of feel about this. Like, I totaled 573 and a half. And for me, that's like, okay, that's kind of the wherever I'm competing, if I go back to 63, like it needs to be greater than that number. Like that's my baseline now.
Mm,
And if I commit to 69, like I better be adding a fair amount of kilos because I'm obviously also going to try to like fill out the weight class. Like you were saying, like Penna's going to try to fill out the weight class and like bulk into the weight class.
mm.
Which would for me also allow me to obviously do more volume. Like I'm at a point for 63, like in some regards, if I compete at 63, I have to be careful of like, I can't be putting too much more muscle on my body because then
Yeah.
it will turn into a 2019 Megan situation,
Yeah.
and like, I don't
Yeah.
want that if I'm competing at 63. Whereas if I go 69, like that's not a non-issue.
Frank, doesn't it make you wonder, like, what can I do? What could I do as a
Yeah.
69? That's the curiosity factor that gets fun.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
like Penna now, where he's like, I got new basements. It
Right.
was funny him
Exactly.
saying like literally the same
Yeah.
year,
Isn't that
earlier in the
funny?
same year,
Yeah.
690. I'm like, God, I can't 690. I thought I was better than this. I thought I was behind my bad days being 690. And then
Yeah.
same year,
I
he's
know.
at 730 something. And he's like,
Yeah.
this was a bad day. But I
That's what
can't
happens.
believe now I'm saying this is my bad days.
Yeah. He did crazy, crazy cuts 66, right?
Hero cuts.
Yeah.
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 He was incredibly shredded.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those. The body will let you, he said leading into world games, he was cutting again. And like every, what happens when the body fat goes right out the
Not
window,
good.
his strength plummeted way worse. Like it was all of his lifts went
Yeah.
so far down. And he's like, his body essentially said, the last time you did 66 is the last time you're going to do 66.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and not that that's not a great experience. And I'm sure that was incredibly hard, but like, it's also like, he's lucky he walked away not getting hurt. You know what I mean?
He's like, he didn't go to world games like bomb
Yeah.
out and have a
Right.
horrible. He knew ahead of time, hey, this is going. Oh, the wheels are falling off. Like I'm
Yes.
not going to make it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Like to have that awareness because that's hard to have that awareness as an athlete when you're
Mm.
training for something.
Oh, when you guys lock in,
Mm.
sometimes it's come hell or high water. It's right to the end. You'll show up, duct
Yeah.
taping those wheels on the bus, and show up and let it rock. See what
Yeah.
happens.
Which isn't the best thing, but it's what it makes us who we
It's
are.
why you guys keep doing what you're
Yeah.
doing. But yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
At this point in time,
Hmm.
who do you think is the women's lifter of the year 2025?
I mean, Agata. I don't think that's really.
I mean, I think it's got to be Agatha,
I
but
mean, I don't think that's
um,
like probably.
there is some. I have seen some
I would
people.
say I would say Agata. Like 100%, I would say Agata. But I also think like at the end of the day too, like I feel like Brit's got to get a lot of credit.
Brit's done a damn thing as well.
You know what I mean?
Um, how about because so Carlina's done phenomenal as well,
Yeah.
but but
Listen, there's something. It's like Jesus. Like there's something if you're the strongest female on the planet.
for sure.
You
Although
know.
Sonita um did phenomenal. It's weird. This World Games is weird. Sonita out totaled Brit in a weight class that does not have a limit for like the open, but
Hmm.
Brit won on points. So then it's like their rivalry continues because Brit won on GL points, but Sonita actually
Right.
were head to head.
Right. But neither of them went above the world record total at World Games. I don't think.
I don't
Like I
think so.
think I think yeah. I think they yeah. Not that that
So
matters, but I was
it
just
makes
saying like for the year since the question was the year.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just that rivalry is so
I
good.
know. But how cool is it to
It's
have a rivalry in that weight class?
it's
It's really
amazing.
cool, like it's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
E- Even like they're so toe to toe. Um, yeah, for sure. Brit. Also, in terms of comebacks, how crazy is it? Heather Connor talking about 2019, last time she won, coming back and beating Turbo Tiff,
Yeah, I know.
and like
Crazy.
all these years later, and then
Hmm.
Turbo Tiff taking the first L of her life and
I
coming
know.
back like,
Turning around.
man,
Yep.
did not like that feeling.
No.
And it's like, it was crazy that
Yeah, it was crazy.
450.
Yeah.
And now she did it back to back 450. She's like, no, this is talking about new basements. No,
Yeah.
this is my new standard now, 450. It's like, really?
It's
You just
insane.
like does a loss do
Yeah.
that? Is that what it is?
I mean,
Do you
probably sometimes, right? Like I wouldn't know because I've never been able to like, but I feel like probably if you get used to winning and you take a loss, I feel like for some people, like, yeah, it does do that. Like almost like Russ, right? Like, and I think he's even said like he got pretty used to winning. Do you know what I mean? Like, not that he was taking it for granted, but like he expected to win, right? And I feel like when he lost that year to Jurns, like he's kind of been a different Russ since then. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. And I feel like you saw that in Tip, like you saw the change in Tip after like she lost. It was like, nah, like I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a shift of gear. Like maybe I do have this other gear, or maybe I wasn't doing something I was doing before. I don't know. Like I can't speak for them, but like you can totally see it in like their training and competing since.
It's just because weightlifting at points, you can't strategize your way through it. You you can only give so much. So you wonder, like, if you're already giving everything you can, you
Mm-hmm.
take an L. What are you going to do after taking that L? But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes there is stuff. Like
Yeah.
for Russ, for sure, it was almost like the Mike Tyson situation when he lost to Buster Douglas, where Russ came in and after the fact was like, all right, I showed up a little, like I
Right.
didn't show up. I showed up a little too close to comp time, but I'm telling myself, whatever, like
Right.
it's fine. And you don't you just take for granted, like, no, there's a time zone difference. There's gonna be a lot of like you
Yeah.
and people sometimes mitigate what travel does and time zone changes, circadian rhythms, like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
excuses, whatever. And that's like, all right, well, if it's tight,
Especially if you're cutting weight, which he did for 83, especially if you're cutting
yeah,
weight. Yeah.
good point. And if it's tight, that makes a difference. If
100%.
one person's well rested, circadian rhythm on track, the whole nine, that can make the difference. The thing was, it was never tight for Russ until it was. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when you get caught.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then I hate all my top end weights. I did my accessories, but it's like, but are you doing them because they're on the schedule
Yeah.
and you're just doing them, or are you doing them like I'm crushing those now?
Right.
Like those accessories feel like I'm dead afterwards. Like
Yeah.
because accessories are never going to be given weight. They're never a lot of stuff isn't given weight.
Yeah.
You hit that with an intensity and you're like, I got embarrassed in Lithuania, and they're going to embarrass me again in Sheffield, hometown for Jurans and Ade, and everyone was dancing on my grave.
Mhm.
Like, even if you did the exact same program twice, yes, there's a difference.
They're
There
100%.
there can be, you could turn
Yeah.
it on.
And I think for people that, and even like I know a different situation, but like after Worlds, it was like I'm gonna find something, even if there's not, like I'm gonna find something because I know I can be better. Like so whatever that is, you're gonna find it and
Mm.
bring a different character to the platform.
So you know what? I'm glad you're on this. I don't think I ever brought this up to you. Maybe I did in person. You know, Russ said that he changed his bench press. His final bench in Lithuania at Worlds when he lost
Yeah,
became his opening bench in Sheffield, same weight class.
yeah.
Opening bench in Sheffield. He retooled his bench. He said he credits you. He got it from you. He was studying you because he knew he had a big bench. Did
I
you know
have
that? He
to be
said it on the
honest.
podcast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he might have called me Meghan Scallion, but that's fine.
That's pretty dope.
Wouldn't be the
But
first one. No, but what's funny is several of several guys have actually either asked me and then told me that they since changed their bench, or like obviously Russ said it on the podcast. I didn't know that at the time, which I think is hilarious. Like obviously that wasn't my intention when I changed the bench, but I'm like, okay, like
it's huge though. It's
yeah,
well, first
yeah,
off, your bench took a minute to adjust to the bench rules, and
yeah.
you were like, you were among those who are like, look, if my bench takes a hit,
It's rough.
that changes everything for me.
Yeah.
And you worked around it, and obviously your
Mm-hmm.
bench is what it is now. And then for Russ to, I told him like,
Yeah.
how did you go from ending with this
That's so
weight to
funny.
opening with this weight?
Yeah.
And he's like, I legit started studying Meg
Ah.
and was like, oh, that's interesting. And
Yeah,
he like studied your videos and
yeah,
took your technique and everything. And I'm sure everyone listening to Russ then
it's
finds
like,
you and is like,
huh? Yeah, yeah. Well,
you're like, oh,
at a same thing, and his bench has just blown up. And I would like to say you're welcome. No, I'm just kidding.
you need to start
For
doing bench
going through
seminars.
the growth pains for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think it's funny,
yeah.
but it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Because I've spent obviously a lot of time, not just for bench depth, but like on my bench technically, so that it's as good as it can be. You know what I mean? So I think it's cool. You know what I mean? Like I think that's really cool.
To get the hats off like that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a hell of a freaking Addy as well. Did he reach out to you and say this?
Yeah. He reached out to me like before he started doing it, and then I saw him out of Ansus. And he like reminded me. I forgot because I totally forgot. And he was like,
Because
"Remember?"
it
And I was
happens
like,
all the
"Oh
time.
yeah, totally." I was like, "How's bench going?" He was like, "Fantastic." And I'm like, "Great, cool,
You
man."
you got to drop like a bench program or something to ride
Yeah,
this high
right.
and be like, I'm releasing a bench program.
Yeah, I gotta
Because
get them
so
to
many
co-sign it. I'll be like, "Guys, can you co-sign this for me?"
Clip King of the list, you
Approved.
got my
Yeah,
permission.
right.
Clip King of the list, you got
Oh
my permission.
god,
Don't worry
so
about it.
funny.
But yeah, it's freaking it's quite the hats off by those guys. Also, I wonder, talking about taking an L, and then only when you take an L, not only do you come with different intensity, or you're retooling things where previously you're like, do I retool this if I'm already winning?
Yeah.
That's dangerous because it takes
Oh,
time.
100%. Yeah,
If you only got 3 months and retooling something could
it's
take like
hard.
months to work out,
Right.
by the time you show up, you might have totally wasted your time. And I remember
Yeah.
at the in that time period, Russ went from flats to heels to back again because he had a little bit of time to only because he lost is he
Right.
now like in and out of flats, in and out of heels, retooling his bench. Some things worked, he kept like the bench, some things didn't, like whatever. And but only when you lose, you're like, we're retooling now. We're
Yeah.
redoing this.
Well, I mean, when you're winning, right? When you're on top, it's the bigger risk to make big changes because why would you be making big changes, right? Like you're seeing progress, you're doing well. But when you lose, it's kind of like the opportunity of like, hey, maybe we should try these things, right? Like maybe we should try things differently. Maybe
Mm.
we're missing something. You're like, I feel like you're a little bit more open to it because now you're not on top anymore. Like when push comes to shove, like sure, there might be big expectations on you because you still performed well year after year, but it's different. So I feel like you're more likely to take chances on things, like you're saying, whether it be changing technique, changing, your gear, changing whatever.
Little Wayne once said, when no one gives you a chance, time to start taking chances.
Yeah. I mean,
Little Wayne right
I'm
there.
going to conventional deadlift now. No, I'm just kidding. Never.
No, you just had a good meet. Though, well, yeah, you're like, I'm
Uh,
changing everything. It
Love
is
it.
what it is.
Yeah.
I wonder, so I've had this conversation several times about obviously Agatha has made it well known. Eventually, the final stop for her, talking about these three weight class situation, but the
Yeah.
final stop for her is 84.
Hmm.
And and we were talking like Amanda Lawrence needs to drop that hammer and start picking up steam
Hmm.
because hasn't moved that total in a little while. And Agatha is like an absolute monster. I
Hmm.
wonder though, does does she feel the pressure yet, like we described Russ, like we described Tiff, or does it actually have to happen? Like it's, do you need to take an L or do you? Because some people are saying when she feels the pressure, the total will move when Agatha's there. The thing is, this is Agatha's a freight train. She's coming. We know she's coming.
Yeah. Okay. So you're asking me as if I was Amanda?
Well, what do you think about the situation? Like, do you think Amanda's going to pick up steam and start moving this total along? Or do you think like,
Mm.
because you can only answer putting trying to put yourself in her shoes. And Amanda is for sure still in her prime, and
Yes,
there's no freaking way Amanda Lawrence has been capped out of her full potential the last 4 years. There's no
100%.
way I believe that. There's more there. So I'm wondering, like, but again, she hasn't actually lost. So she doesn't need to retool and be like, let's retool my this, let's redo this, let's change bench. So then it's like, and
Hmm.
then so she's in this holding pattern. Okay, you're crazy to restart. You know, you're winning. She's one of the greatest resumes of all time. But then it's like, hey, if you stay in the 640s, it kind of sort of looks like Agatha is going to be your sitting target, and Agatha's going to go over that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. I would have my foot on, I would have my foot very far down on the pedal. I mean, listen, Agatha has proven that she is kind of like a weapon wherever she goes. And I feel like she's been cutting for a very long time and still proven she can be dangerous. So I mean, like we were saying, like her on a bulk for a while, like I don't know. It could be a crazy thing. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm,
listen, I'm like, I want a total of 600. She's probably like, I want a total of 700. Like that wouldn't surprise me if she said that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm not saying she's saying that, but you know what I mean? Like she's young, she's strong, and she's very determined. And I feel like it seems like when she puts her mind on something, like it happens,
Mm,
you know?
yeah.
Um, I mean, I've never really seen, at least while I've been lifting, like someone do what she's done in a short period of time.
You almost have to act like you took the L. You almost have to act like Russ and be like, you just tell yourself, like, talk like that to yourself. We're retooling. We're doing this. We're flipping over every table.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Like,
Uh,
what can I do better? How can I be better?
everything.
Even if
Change
you're
up
doing a very good job, like, and that's not saying she's not doing everything, but like, there's always something, like there's always something you can do.
and experimenting. Like Russ, like I was saying, experiment in several different things, retooled his bench, was retooling his squat for God's sake. Like you
Right.
changed from flats to heels, that yes, that'll retool everything. And his
Mm-hmm.
squat, and he's like, I have to. This is where you might. Now, the only reason why you might not is now Agatha's in political trouble, and I don't know what this looks
Yeah.
like. And the
Yeah.
last time I checked, um, I think they're going to reconvene and reevaluate and see what it looks like in the future. God, if she misses Worlds, I'd be super duper upset.
Yeah. That'd be crazy if it lasts that long. I mean,
I've seen crazy. The thing is,
I know. I
this is
know.
what
I
my fear
know.
was. My fear was like, I've seen what happened to Rondell,
Yeah.
and
You've
he's
seen
just now
crazier
coming
things.
back.
I know.
And this is where, whenever someone starts getting into political hot water with the governing body, I'm like,
Mm.
God, be careful, because I've seen how entire
It,
careers completely change, and it's very difficult. And like, public sway cannot save you. It's so tough.
yeah.
If you can avoid it, avoid it.
Do.
Like, oh, I hate this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it would be, I mean, it would be incredibly unfortunate. It's like what happened around that was
Oh,
incredibly unfortunate. Like, like it shouldn't be a governing body taking out an athlete in the prime of their career, like unless they're like really truly doing something they shouldn't be doing, in my opinion. Like I don't even know necessarily why she's banned at the moment, similar to like I didn't really understand Rondell's situation, but like you know what I mean? Like that it seems a little crazy to me.
Hopefully things get worked out, cooler heads prevail. Time, there's still time for sure. So
Mm,
if the suspension that I think initially was 3 months turns into, even if it turns into like a 6 or something, as long as she doesn't miss her nationals, whenever that might be, and that doesn't preclude her from going to Worlds.
mm,
Sheffield, I would love her at Sheffield. I'm not I'm not like I'm like 50-50 on whether or not if you put $1 million on the table to bet, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like I know what I hope,
I know.
but I don't know. But Worlds is so much further away. I'm thinking, God,
Yeah.
please let it be cleared up by then at least. But of course, it has to be cleared up by her nationals.
Right.
And I don't know when that is.
Right. Given what they said, she'll be at like if they stood by their 3 months, then she'd be at Sheffield. Right?
Not they're reconvening at the end of 3 months though. It's a 3 monther,
Okay.
and then we're gonna talk. And then it becomes what did you do in your 3 months? You got to be careful. Like if you
Sure.
because they're like every single federation has social media protocols that like if you
Mm,
went on there and started being like fuck powerlifting America,
gotcha.
uh you could kiss my ass. Like I'm not saying that's what she said and or whatever. I'm just making something up. But I'm
I'm
just
like, oh,
saying,
that's what happened. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, like yeah,
Okay.
you're like, I don't know Polish. I didn't know if that's what she said. No, I'm not saying that's what, but I'm just saying, for
Yeah.
example, so like Powerlifting America, every single Fed's got a social media thing. So that's where I don't think anything's tipped over,
Mm,
but it is still you're still waiting with bated breath. It makes you anxious. You're like, oh gosh, let's
yeah.
just see when we're able to reconvene. Hopefully we're all good. But and if they're not all good, hopefully it's still not
Yeah.
we're gonna come guns blazing and take away worlds by pushing the all they have to do is push the suspension past nationals. Then it's like,
Right.
well, that just closes the door on worlds. Like I just
Right.
hope to God it's I got to for God's sake, we gotta see her on the platform and
Yeah. Yeah. I know. That'd be crazy. I guess I didn't realize. I thought it was like 3 months and then
it's three
over, but
months. It's three
then
months,
it's
but
like,
it's not a
see what
dead stop
happens.
at three.
Yeah.
Yeah, so freak man. I hope for the best. I hope cooler heads prevail. It's a hiccup. We all get past it because the sport could like she is as gifted an athlete I've ever seen in the sport.
Yeah. It's
And
crazy.
it's
And isn't she
what
technically still a junior?
she's
I mean,
also
technically.
technically a freaking cyborg. So that what does that? It doesn't even matter.
Technically.
Technically, I have
Oh
done tests. Pretty sure she's a cyborg.
God.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see what the heck happens. But do you have any specific goals for SPD Austin? Just have fun, whatever it is, what it is. You already took the American record. I guess, like, obviously you're gonna push. You don't shy away from that. But besides that,
I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously I have goals, Ryan, but no, it's kind of hard to have like such specific goals just because like of the turnaround and whatever. But like I'm gonna push. Like I would, I would like to. I mean, I would like to win, which means I have to have a good day. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna have fun though. At the end of the day.
you keep beating these 69s head up, then it's gonna be more and more in the back of your head. Frick, I could do this. I could do this in a short turnaround.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, training's going well, but like, we'll see what happens.
Who are you excited to see at SBD Austin perform?
Who am I excited to see perform?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be competing, so I won't really be watching, but
Do you not watch then when you're competing? Do you ever like are you blinders on? Are you seeing things? If you're done, do you stop and take a look at the rest of the
oh
lifting,
yeah.
or is it difficult? Like because it's not worlds. But again, though, when you show up, you're like, nah, I gotta win. Like I don't give a shit if it's locals. I gotta freaking. So I don't know if you can even.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
ever
not
take it
fair. I mean,
in?
I definitely more so. And like I definitely will watch. Like if someone's lifting something ridiculous, like I'm gonna go watch it. Do you know what I mean? Or
Really?
like,
So yeah.
yeah, for definitely. Like I did that. at Avantis, and I would do the same thing at SBD Austin. And like, I'm friends with Jackie, so like, I'm probably gonna watch her lifts. You know what I mean? Like, unless we might be back to back or something, so like that's a little unrealistic. But yeah, and like, I mean, I always love watching Jesus lift because it's insane.
I was gonna say,
Like,
like,
that's
I was
insane.
about to say,
Um,
honestly,
so like,
Jesus looks like he's fitting to do another Sheffield performance. Like his
yeah,
deadlift is back. If his deadlift's back and his squat is back, we're talking Sheffield 2023
yeah,
possibly. And
right,
you'll be done lifting by the time like his squat comes up. Well, you'll be
yes,
warming, but by the time his final deadlift, you'll be able to
right,
enjoy the show and just be like, let me see how this
yeah.
story ends.
Yeah. And like any time I have the opportunity to watch 1,000 pound squat, I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
Because until you've been there and
what are
seen
we
it, you
doing?
just don't understand what it's like. It is
Yeah.
insane. I think that's the most impressive thing in powerlifting that I've ever seen. Anytime I've
You'll
seen
also
1,000 pound squats.
you'll also be done lifting and be able to see like Rondell versus Bob. Let me see what it ends. Like the deadlifts
100%.
really
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you'll the
Yeah,
deadlifts is when the action really comes to a climax. Like
yeah.
who's gonna take this? Who's where are we ending up? You know, you'll
Hmm.
have an opportunity anyways, unless you're like
Yeah.
totally smoked and tired. But even then,
No, 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 no. Yeah, like I'll definitely go out and watch the guys finish up after. I mean, even probably like I mean, I don't know how many people will pull after me, but there'll be a couple because there always is. Hey, I'm
you're
climbing
like
my way
I get to
though.
enjoy the 69s
I
finish,
Yeah,
and I'm a
literally,
69.
literally, I'm clawing my way though. Okay, on deadlift,
Fair
slowly but
enough. Fair
surely,
enough. Fair enough.
getting there. I used to be the top of the order.
Your deadlifts come a long way.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know. It used to be
It's
rough.
turned reliable for you. You've
Mm.
had some moments where you needed it to come through, and it has.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, even just like the load has helped me a lot. It
100%.
The increase in load on my deadlift has helped me a lot. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'll be
All
fun
right.
though.
Well, listen. What's that?
SPD Austin's gonna be fun. It's good curve, you know.
100%. I'm freaking super stoked to do. I'm going to be there commentating. Um, we got some freaking battles. I'm interested in seeing what you do. I'm interested in seeing, there's a lot of totals that it'll be an indicator of what to look forward to in 2026 for some of these people. And then
Definitely.
on the day too, the head to head of Bob and Rondell, got to see it. I swear to God, I think Jesus at
He looks
100%,
really strong right now.
he
Like
might,
really
Jesus at
strong.
100%, we're talking the greatest powerlifting performance of all time. Sheffield, tested or untested, the
Mm-hmm.
biggest, like men, women, tested, untested, whatever you want, kilo for kilo, the biggest performance of all time. Jesus is on that potentially for
Mm-hmm.
SBD Austin,
Yeah, that's
which is,
insane. It's insane.
and you'll be there physically. Like, of course, I'm
Yeah.
super, super pumped for it.
I mean, that's
Super pumped
insane.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, any meet like that's cool. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to watch. It's like advances we went out and watched all the guys finish up after, you know. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's really
It's like an
cool.
all-star game.
Yeah, I mean,
It's an all-star game.
how can you not have fun watching that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, listen, thank you for coming on the podcast. Much appreciated. I'm gonna see you in freaking like a couple of weeks. And
Yeah.
good luck with everything. Be very interesting. We'll see. You'll know they're gonna release the Sheffield wildcards at SBD Austin. So then you'll have some plans for 2026. At least by then, it'll add some clarity. Maybe. I mean, who knows? Like you said, you go to Sheffield, you might still do 69 depending on, but
Yeah, we'll see.
we'll see. Close
We'll
enough.
see.
Well, anyways, thank you for coming on, Meg.
Thank
Much
you.
appreciated.
Thank
And
you.
for everybody listening, as per usual, please do subscribe, give us high ratings, and until next time, six pack Lapadat, six up, and we are out.